you remember you. Ah, boy, when you tell them, would you like to them to remember you with sorrow or with joy? Would you like them to celebrate the fact that they did know you? Ah, of course, same thing with jobs. You know, they can celebrate the fact that you were there, that you were working. It was a joy. It was magical. It was marvelous. But things change. This is part of life. Things change, right? Yeah. Yeah. In a transformative initiative, one that says we are going to insist on positive perspectives. We're going to make it positive. We're going to make it good in all aspects. And they are there. We just have to find them. It just means a bit of energy, a bit of effort, a bit of impeccability, a bit of diligence, a bit of scrupulousness, thoroughness, some research, and so on. Can be done. Can be done. Just takes a bit of work. But it's an investment. It's a really profound investment in peace of being, peace of mind, emotional peace, joy, transforming all that stress and and mostly the real key with it always is it's just facing the always the key. And the magic of it is that we tend to believe. So yeah, it's a magical thing. It's a magical thing. So Donna, if I read between the lines, you're thinking of transitioning your job, that is.
Here's the whole thing about transitioning.
Say again.
Here's the whole thing about transitioning. You reach a state of being where it just all is going to happen naturally, and it'll happen soon. I don't have to make it. It's just going to happen, and I'm fully aware of that. I can see into the future. I have these visions, and then they just happen. So the luxury of being able to get those glimpses of insights is you just sit back and trust. And so that's what I'm choosing to do. Now, in the meantime, I do everything you said. I am. I not only get, I am. And so yes, I get, we're there, but there's no buts. It in addition to that, until that transition happens, there's all kinds of people that are always around you to assist with transitions of all sorts. And angels are around us, I feel, and others. And you transition, and that includes a variety of things, transition. And in that transition, it doesn't necessarily mean my job is going to change. I may still be walking into 815 Cracker Road.
Yes, but you can transition. Exactly.
Right.
Exactly. Right.
And that's what I came to realize when I came up from the mud. The
Right.
transition is going to happen. It's just not going to be like, I don't necessarily, like I said, I could still be walking into that same building. I could still have the same relationships. However, I transition. Transition doesn't mean you lose. Transition doesn't mean you walk away. Transition doesn't mean you physically have to have something be different. It's internal.
It's shifting, it's gentle, it's gradual. This is the magic of why I love that word transition. It's a philosophy. It's a philosophy of saying we can do things gently, smoothly, fluidly. We can go little by little. It leads to leaps and bounds. It does not have to be traumatic. It does not have to be. It can be joyful.
It can be joyful. There's a woman on my board, and she works for a company. And guess what the company name is?
Transition Inc.
Smooth Transitions.
Wow. What do they do?
Help people that are elderly that are getting ready for end of life.
Wow. Okay. Well, there you go. I knew sooner or later that name would come into the mainstream, like this. Very cool. Very cool.
What I would like to, what I would like to explore with this, like even with this group, in the BNI group, is seeing, it's like seeing the real people and their hearts and knowing that they've transitioned and you know that they've transitioned. And then you just want to have a conversation with them that says, rather than hospice, how about we switch that whole process up and call it hopesis or something? I don't know, something more positive than end of life. And it's like, I feel like they know that.
Yeah.
So why do I feel like they know that? And it's just a matter of someone standing up and saying, okay, take your company that's moving elderly from their house to the nursing home. That's really not what it's about, right?
Yeah.
That's just the physical manifestation of something much more.
Yeah.
Than that. Yeah. So, what I don't know is to the physical, you transition into the moreness of life.
Both.
I know, right? So I'm just learning that dance.
Yeah.
And it can be a beautiful dance for sure. And I want to transitions. Let's start having dialogue. Let's collaborate. Let's create.
Totally, Donna. So the entire tradition thing is a transition. That's why I call it a philosophy. Let's apply this and say, when is this transition counseling? But before
way before.
So exactly. Is when the person moves into the hospice.
I resisted that because I didn't have awareness. I didn't have peace of being, right? So maybe you can come back in a physical form and you have an opportunity then to gain that. That's transitioning. And then once you 16 or whatever, and all that, when does it bridge together where you literally can have the awareness and that transition is it all falls into place, and then you recognize that you are that awareness. Like there's a connection between.
Between?
You
say, when does it all make sense? That's why teenagers can choose for yourself whether you want to all of the sides to it, right? So this makes your decision a poor decision because it is limited. You're not seeing all of the perspectives. And that's why, again, transitioning counseling is so potent because you start to see the full picture. If you then decide, fine, all power to you. It's your free choice.
I just somehow have a sense that's, I don't know, like I've said this before, that's the movie. That's the story that I literally died, and the awful truth is I literally died. Awareness, I did not die. That death awareness, and that I then had an opportunity to go to in like the movie and like look at all the different things, but not from a perspective of how did you impact, but more of a perspective of increasing and expanding your awareness, and then coming to a piece of being where you know who you really are, and then from that perspective, looking back and seeing everything that led up into this point is in the joy for expansion of awareness. And then at some point it just feels like there's a merger of that death with this death. And then I don't know.
That's the thing.
Like,
it's all done in lack of awareness. It's all done without clarity. And that's problematic. That's the point. Yeah. So the whole transition for philosophy is built on clarity, understanding all angles. Yeah, lots we can do to deal with the unknown. Lots. We aren't that helpless when it comes to the unknown. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, awareness for one, is to say, the more aware you are, the better.
you sort of transcend the need to mood shift and a lot of things that were once.
Right, exactly. Yeah, you find yourself in a space where it's not even necessary to do that. Exactly. You've shifted to an overriding magic.
Right. There's no, you just
exactly
have a peace.
Exactly. That's really potent. That's really, 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 really potent.
Well, you just
right? Not a simple thing to get there. Not a simple thing at all.
Oh, okay.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant.